I want to talk about natural news and Mike Adams, also known as the Health Ranger, in this video. You know, with the coming of the new president here just around the corner and all the different candidates that are running for president, it seems that Mike Adams and natural news in general have been very critical of a particular candidate, that is Ted Cruz, on GMO. And I want to say right up front that I've always thought very highly of natural news, always had a lot of respect, and admired Mike Adams for a lot of the information that he has shared with the world through natural news. And I think that he has good intentions. I was very disappointed, though, about some things that he recently said in a couple articles that he wrote about Ted Cruz in supporting Monsanto. Now, while it is true that Ted Cruz does not advocate abolishing GMOs, and he says that people that are against GMOs are anti-science zealots. I believe that's what he said. That even though that is the case, some of the things that Mike Adams has said about Ted Cruz are very offensive, derogatory, and just downright mean and offensive to supporters of Ted Cruz during this presidential election. And I always thought that natural news was very big on freedom of speech. That is, being able to speak and voice your own opinion of something regardless of whether someone disagrees with you or not. And so there was, in this article that he had written, which I can put down in the description box so you guys can read it for yourself. In the article that he had written, there was something that he said that was actually offensive to me, but I'm sure not only to me, but others that would have read that have been supporting Ted Cruz. So what happened was I wrote this article, or not an article, but I wrote a long comment, almost in the form of an article, underneath his article in the comment section down below. And when I posted it, it said that it was under review, but then it was deleted. So apparently Mike Adams or whoever's running Natural News did not like what I had said, so they decided to just delete my comment so it wasn't even posted. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a little ridiculous, especially considering that I thought they were for free speech. You know, censoring people's information is, being very, very controlling of the information that they only want to share. And that, I thought, was the same problem that they were having with people that with the government wanting to censor the internet. I've read quite a few articles over the years on Natural News about how the government wants to control and censor the internet and how that isn't right and that goes against, our rights as Americans. Yet, here Natural News is doing the exact same thing when it comes to people like me who are speaking out about something and it gets censored and deleted. So, I thought that was very surprising, and I know another person that it has happened to as well. So, it's not just like it's a one-time thing, but I'm sure that it's happening to a lot of people that will write comments, but they won't get approved or they'll get deleted. So I want to read the actual comment that I said, which was deleted by Natural News. Okay, I said, Mike, I am offended by this article. You say, and this is, quote, what he says in his article, nor can he beat Hillary Clinton, he's speaking of Ted Cruz, for that matter, because his overly preachy demeanor and holier-than-thou attitude is nakedly offensive to nearly everyone except the delusional devout. I said, I support Ted Cruz, and no, I am not pro-GMO, and no, I am not delusional. The very thing you accuse Ted of being, that is self-righteous, you here seem to display what you're preaching against. Perhaps you should learn to be more respectful to those who disagree with you. You preach a lot about GMO, and that is fine, but Ted Cruz has a record that shows he does fight for the Constitution and Bill of Rights. Ted Cruz voted against the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act. He wants to abolish the IRS. He also would appoint conservative Supreme Court justices. Donald Trump would compromise and probably appoint bad justices. I know you would hate to live in a country that is run by Judea Christian Principles, because if anyone is against same-sex marriage or abortion, we're pretty much labeled a hater. If you think just for a moment about the significance of the Supreme Court justices, then you would understand that as much as it would be good to have GMO exterminated in America, that would be the least of your problem if your Second Amendment is written out of the Constitution, your religious liberty, along with other rights. Then you will no longer live in a free country, and GMO will be the last of your concerns. The way I see it is that the media hates Ted Cruz because he does have a proven record and is a Christian. The media hates Christianity. Just look around you and it's abundantly clear. Donald Trump gets all the airtime and the media loves him. More than likely, the media wants Donald Trump to be the nominee so that he loses to Hillary Clinton. The polls show him losing to her. What can Donald say to Hillary when he said in an interview with Tim Russert back in 1999, which is a clip of this on YouTube, that Hillary is a great woman and has supported the Clintons? Even Jimmy Carter sings the praises of Donald Trump. Why don't you report any of that news, Mike? You are using GMO to push your agenda without being fair to all parties. I don't know if it ever occurred to you, but perhaps Ted Cruz is not educated about GMO. Did you always know everything, Mike? Also, to align Ted Cruz with the devil is crazy. Someone can be a Christian, support GMO, and still go to heaven, Mike. The only way someone goes to hell is by rejecting Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. Acceptance of GMO is not a matter of salvation, Mike. Sure, we are to be good stewards of what God has given us, and we will all give an account to how we use and take care of creation. As much as it would be nice to have a perfect candidate, it just doesn't exist. As much as you demonize Ted Cruz, I hardly see you be critical of Donald Trump's record. Of course, you are much aligned with Infowars and Alex Jones, so you will continue to sing the praises of Donald Trump. So I will end this and just say that I think it is sad that people can no longer be respectful. And this is the comment that I wrote that was deleted by Natural News. It wasn't allowed to be posted to the comments section. And I think it's primarily because I spoke on a lot of accurate points. And that is information that I don't think a lot of other people want to get out there. So that's why they censored this. Because I do make a lot of really great points. And the last thing Natural News wants is somebody that is making common sense of these things to be able to share that with other people. Because, see, when you want to brainwash someone, you just want to give them the information that you want to give them. You don't want other people to be saying anything else that disagrees with your agenda. And that's what I find that is actually kind of scary. And it wasn't just Mike Adams, it's now other people on Natural News that are writing and attacking Ted Cruz over the GMO thing. You know, they're focusing so much on GMO, and basically saying that anybody that aligns themselves with GMO and that does not speak out against GMO or whatever is the devil and are evil and terrible, horrible people. Now, it should be said that there isn't one single account of a human that has died from GMO that I am aware of. And many of the same information or studies that are brought up with dealing with GMOs is the rat or the mice one with the tumors that it developed from eating the GMO. I'm not promoting GMO. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just being fair to all sides of the story and presenting the information the way it is. However, even if somebody is in support of GMO, that does not make them a devil worshiper. That does not make them the devil. That does not make them inherently evil or anything like that. Not one of us can say that we are correct on everything that we believe in a given period of time. We're all learning, we're all understanding, and perhaps Ted Cruz is just not informed and he has things that he still has to learn about GMO, okay? Most Americans aren't conscious or aware of a lot of these things, but that doesn't mean that they're the devil, and that certainly doesn't give Mike Adams the right to be disrespectful and to be offensive and to call him names. Now, he might not like what Ted Cruz stands for or what he's done or whatever, but Mike Adams should still be respectful. And I find that, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. In other words, just because there might be one bad egg in a carton, okay, so he's not against GMOs, doesn't mean that he is completely bad across the entire spectrum, or in this case, the entire egg carton. If there's one bad egg in a carton, it doesn't make all the other eggs bad. And I think, unfortunately, that even though Ted Cruz is not against GMO, it does not mean that he would be a bad president or that he would make a bad president or that he would make bad decisions. Because he does clearly have a record that shows that he does fight for the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, and that is something that they don't ever talk about on national news. In all the articles where they demonize him, they never talk about any of the good things that Ted Cruz has done. And it's the same thing with infowars on Alex Jones' YouTube site. They're always demonizing the other candidates like Ted Cruz, and they're always praising Donald Trump, but they're never being critical of any of the things that Donald Trump has done. And that I find is very suspicious. That is almost an agenda, a brainwashing, because they aren't being fair in presenting the information of all sides of the story. They aren't being critical of everyone, and they really should be. So, yes, I am disappointed with how natural news is, handling all of this, and I really think that, they are very, they're just censoring information that they don't want on their website, because they only want to be giving out that information that they want people to read, to see, and to understand, so that they go along with their agenda. So it is what it is, I think it's unfortunate and it's sad, but, people are led astray because a lot of times people will listen to other people instead of thinking for themselves. And this channel is always about thinking for yourself, So yeah, tell me what you guys think about this and down in the comment section below. Again, I was kind of disappointed that my comment did not get approved and that it was deleted by Natural News. And that makes me feel all the more suspicious about all of this. And I just think that it's really sad that, people like Ted Cruz are demonized for something that they might not even be fully aware of themselves. So, with that, take care.